Ladies and gentlemen, today we're very honored to have with us the Ambassador of Cyprus to the United States, His Excellency, Mr. Euripides Evriviades. Your Excellency, welcome to California, welcome to Greek TV.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for giving me the chance to be present with you today and to send a message to all the viewers and the audience of your channel.
Tell us about the reason of your presence in California.
Well, it's the first time that I'm coming here. I presented my credentials to President Bush in December of 2003, so it's been some time now. It's been close to a year and a half. And here there is a very, very vibrant and robust Hellenic community, Cypriot community. We have a very, very active and energetic Consul General, Mr. Nick Theophanos, and he is the one, as a matter of fact, responsible for arranging the whole program here. And I saw it part of my duty and my responsibilities to come here to get to know the community, to thank them for their support on Cyprus, but also convey the message that we're not out of the woods yet. You know, there is, the struggle takes different forms in different parts. Here the community is, of course, very much interested in Cyprus, and I just wanted to update them on the latest developments and see how we can both work to push the process forward.
That brings me to my first question, which is what are the latest developments on the Cyprus issue?
Well, the good news and bad news. The good news is, of course, and this is the single most strategic positive development for Cyprus. Since independence in 1960, it is Cyprus joining the European Union. And I cannot stress that enough. And this happened with a lot of hard work in Nicosia, a lot of hard work in Athens, and of course, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Greece, Cyprus wouldn't today be a member of the European Union, because Greece was and remains our only staunch ally that is always willing to travel the extra mile. So I think I cannot stretch that enough. And the moment you change the context, one changes the problem. So within a new context of the European Union, then we hope that this will usher in a new framework within which one can seek to have a European solution to the Cyprus problem. And as a matter of fact, that was why on December 17th, in the end, and despite the popular sentiment of vetoing Turkey's accession to start the negotiations, we decided differently, of course, and we also cast a positive vote because we want Turkey to come into the European Union, and by coming into the European Union, then of course Turkey will start behaving in a European manner. This was the decision taken by Nicosia. This was the decision also taken by Athens some time ago. So that is the good news. The bad news is, of course, that we had a referendum last year, the Annan Plan. It was not such that people could have voted in favor of the referendum. So people rejected it overwhelmingly. The Cypriot community, the Greek Cypriot community, 76–77%. It's a huge number.
Voted against them.
Yeah, voted against it for various reasons, which we can talk now or later or some other time. But the fact remains that the people in a democratic process, in a free, fair referendum, expressed themselves on that plan. Right now, the problem remains, of course, unresolved, and we're looking forward for the Secretary General to take another new initiative.
What's the latest on now the Secretary General and his plan? Have they made any changes? Are they pushing for another round?
For the moment, the developments are a little bit foggy because there are certain centers, international centers, which say, well, the Annan Plan is there. You guys voted against it, have second thoughts and put it again to a referendum and vote in favor of it. This is not going to happen on our watch. Certainly, it's not going to happen on our watch because the people have already decided. Because of the uncertainties of the plan and not a lot of our positions not being reflected there. So and the other side, they voted in favor of it. So they would say, why should we sit down to negotiate something that we have already voted in favor of it? Democracy is not only correct when it goes one way. I mean, the people decided, and that should be honored, just as the people decide anywhere in the world. I mean, we have a whole international campaign about freedom and about the rule of law and democracy. The people of Cyprus decided it should be respected. They know, the international community and the Secretary General and the United States know the problematic issues. We revisit them, we sit down on the table and try again, now having in mind that we are now part of the European Union.
Of course.
So,
much stronger position.
Well, much stronger, yes and no. It's not panacia, it's not panacea, in the European Union. But for sure, you cannot have, let's put it this way, you cannot have a plan and provisions in the plan that are contrary to basic norms, values, principles of the European Union. Cyprus cannot be the only exception where you have something like that.
Right.
And given the fact that, of course, Greece is a good member of the European Union, Cyprus is already there, Turkey wants to get there. Okay, that provides a common vision, right? Commonality of purpose, and it creates a new environment through which you can pursue this, so we can at long last have a solution to the problem itself for the benefit of the people, and of course, which translates itself to greater stability in the region.
Right.
That's.
What's happening on the other side now, on the occupied side? They had elections.
They had a voting there, and they will have another voting to elect their leader, and whoever they elect, it's their internal situation. It looks like Mr. Talat will become the chief negotiator. Fine, I mean, whatever the community, the Turkish Cypriot community decides, it's their own prerogative. And the voting is going to take place around the 20th of April. So there is some talk that something might happen after that. But what I want to stress is that we do not want the repetition of the past. In the past, we had artificial deadlines, which had to do with other issues. Okay, now they're telling us, well, on the 3rd of October, Turkey will start negotiations with the European Union. Fine, we voted in favor of that, but there should be no connection between the solution of the problem and the negotiations. So, come April or May, they will say, okay, let's do it this way now. You will start again. We will have the Secretary General being the arbitrator. So by the 2nd of October, everything finishes. No, we're saying no, the solution has to be agreed by both parties. Otherwise, if a solution is not agreed, it's going to be seen like it is an imposed solution, and that's not going to work. Right. It's not going to work.
I understand there is some development right now in the occupied part of Cyprus.
Yeah, Dimitri, this is very, very troublesome and worrisome, because we believe in the rule of law, and we have taken our case to the European Court of Human Rights for interstate applications, Cyprus versus Turkey. In all 4 of them, we were vindicated. And one of those cases, including the Loizidou case, a refugee from Kyrenia.
It's a well-known case.
Yes, okay, and the court ruled in the most democratic, in the most legal way, of course, that Mrs. Loizidou...
She's entitled...
Exactly.
To her...
Of course.
Patrikos spiti.
Patrikos spiti, exactly that. I mean, there are people claiming their properties is World War I, World War II. Our people, of course, they're still claiming their property because they're the legal owners, no matter how much time passes. They are the legal owners of that land, and they should be asked what they want to do with it. You should have their consent. You cannot just throw that right out. I mean, imagine if somebody comes into your house and says you're out. Of course, people, So that's what happened to them.
So it's not enough that they're occupying houses of Greek Cypriots, but they're building now.
Building and selling them.
And selling it.
It's not theirs to sell.
Wow.
So, we have a number of situations, especially, British couples or people buying. And of course, we are telling them, that this is a risky business because the European Court of Human Rights has decided. Plus, decisions taken by Cypriot courts, now that we're members of the European Union, can be executed in a court in the United Kingdom. So people should be very, very careful. They should not buy land that it is not that does not belong to them. I mean, the title deeds belongs, and this has been happening constantly now. There's a huge surge. cementing the occupied part even more. Another disturbing development is even more settlers, Anatolia settlers, are coming in a systematic approach to change the demographic character of the island. I mean, and right now, the Turkish Cypriots are becoming a minority in their own community because they have been emigrating, they have been leaving the country, a number of them, and then you have the settlers coming in, together with the army, anywhere between 32 to 36,000 troops. You know, the highly most militarized place on earth. It's in occupied Cyprus. You know, and then the Turkish Cypriots become a minority in their own community. So these, all the more reason why we should double our efforts for a solution, because the situation on the ground remains lose-lose. You know, we should regroup, see what went wrong. Now it's been a year, so people had ample time to reflect on these things. Yes. So, you know, we can put the process forward for the benefit of the Cypriots first and foremost. The tragedy of Cyprus, it has been, what I want to relate also to your viewers is that ever since the ceasefire line opened up on the 23rd of April 2003, there has been more than 5 million visits across the ceasefire line, incident-free. Incident-free. Cypriots of Greek ethnic origin, Cypriots of Turkish ethnic origin, going back and forth. Incident-free. I think that speaks volumes. And the Greek Cypriot community so far spending more than $200 million.
I was going to mention that's good for the economy.
Of course it is, and you have to develop the economy. The problem is when some of our friends, or it's no secret, the United States is trying very, very hard to open up the airports in the occupied part. And we are saying this has nothing to do with economic development of the Turkish Cypriots, in the sense that Turkish Cypriots can have direct trade. Of course you have to trade. On the Green Line, they can take their produce through Larnaca port, Paphos port, you know, export, import, you know, but the moment you open up airports in the occupied part, which again there, it's also a property issue, because more than 80% of the airport at Timbu belongs to refugees again. They have never given their consent for that airport to be used, okay? The moment you start opening up the ports, the airports, the moment you have institutional dealings with the regime in the occupied part, which has been condemned by the United Nations as illegal, and the European Court of Human Rights said, and this is a quotation, a subordinate local authority to Turkey. The moment you have these dealings, as if it is a separate country, then you're a step short of recognition, and that's what we're finding. You know, and that's what we, you know, I'm also accredited to International Civil Aviation Organization, to ICAO, and I go there just to also present our case that, you know, any country has the right to say which airports and which airports are to be open and not to be open. And now there is a sort of a campaign to I don't want to say to punish us, but there are incremental steps saying, well, you guys blew it up, now you pretty much got to pay for it.
Yes.
And that's not...
Let us hope that the upcoming negotiations with the new government on the occupied side will bring some concrete results, will solve those issues, and that finally we'll end up with the dream, which is Cyprus as one...
exactly. In the European Union, where human rights will be respected for all Cypriots, where you have economic development, economic security, and that is the goal and that is the vision for all Cypriots.
And all of us, for Greeks and all of us. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for
joining
us.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the chance that you have given me to convey these thoughts to your audience, and I'm at your disposal
our pleasure.
24/7 to talk about things over in greater detail.
Thank you very much. We hope to have you in the future again.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Have a good